Hi, welcome back to KidLit TV's coverage of the 10th annual Chappaqua Children's Book Festival. So today we're going to talk to a husband and wife, very creative team. And first, we're going to have Matthew tell us about the book he's holding.
Hi, I'm Matthew Van Fleet. I write, illustrate, and design all my books. This is probably my 20th, 25th-ish book or whatever. It's for my books, this is actually relatively simple because there's only one moving part on it, which is this little whale tail here. And it's called Splash Goes the Whale. It's actually an alphabet book, which you can figure out if you see ABC. So it's die cut, and it's basically about a whale who eats the alphabet. So you'll see there's an albatross with an A. So, once there was now I have to remember my own text. Once there was a little whale swimming in the sea who said, "I'm so hungry, I could eat from A to Z." So the albatross says, basically he eats that, then it's B, C, D, so it's baboon, crab, duck, eats those, and as he eats, they go into him, and he gets bigger and bigger and bigger until finally he eats the whole alphabet, and then he has the whole uppercase alphabet, but then the last letter is a zokor and says, well, you haven't eaten dessert yet, which is lowercase, which is all of this, which you have to say very quickly, which I haven't even memorized, but it's, very quickly, it's apple pie, alligator, brownie buffalo, cupcake capuchin, dotted donut dole, so it goes on and on and on, and that's the whole lowercase alphabet. And then the last spread, after he's done, is that pop-up, and that's the whole alphabet, upper and lowercase in there. But as far as my books go, this is pretty simple because there's just a pop-up and a thing. There's plastic on it, so you can't rip the tail off in the first 10 minutes, but I'm sure you could get it out of it if you wanted to. So yeah, there's no textures in this one. It's more of a straight-up, relatively simple alphabet book.
So I have a quick question, having done some Lift the Flap books, and that is, do you do your own paper engineering?
Yes, I do. I do all the engineering in them, and on this book, which is much more complicated, I design all the engineering, I do all the typography, the illustrations. In the case of that book, Mara did the illustrations, but I figure out all the paper engineering and the design and everything.
And do you do that on the computer, or do you cut and paste and make little mock-ups and dummies?
Actually, every single book I make has to have a original comprehensive, meaning I have to make one completely by hand to give to the publisher, to give to the printer, so they can estimate them. So on a book like that, it's so complicated that you have to know how long it's going to take to assemble it, and it could be very expensive. It might not be doable. And some of them are so complicated that we have to take things out. That it's either it's too expensive or it's just too crazy of a design, or it's a choking hazard sometimes, or things come up.
Right, not only the hand labor that a lot of these involve, but I understand that right now, after the pandemic, with the supply chain and the wood,
right,
the issues with paper, that
right,
you're a lucky duck to get a nice, paper engineered book.
We had a book in process that was printed and on the boats when COVID started, which was a photography book pet. So luckily we just dodged that. But everybody in the business knows when COVID hit, it was a cliff. It was like a light switch going off, and all over the world too. So book sales just evaporated. A little bit online, but the bookstores closed. So it was a rough year.
Yeah, but anyhow, it looks like a gorgeous book. Now, you can tell us about your work.
All right, I'm Mara Van Fleet, and this is our first collaboration together. And it's Mermaid Dance. And as you can see, there are a lot of fun characters in this book, a lot of great dance moves. And one thing that was a learning experience for me was doing the large watercolor backgrounds, because they're separate from all the characters. We wanted that watery feel. So that was very difficult because watercolor is a very unforgiving medium. If you don't do it right the first time, you just have to start over. But I was very happy with how it all came out in the end. This is the big pop-up. And it was a COVID project for us, so it gave us something to do, and it was very enjoyable.
Wow, that's really, really darling. Mermaid Dance. And now, oh, wow. And so you had probably some of the same issues as your husband regarding the supply chain and the...
Yeah, same publisher, same issues, exactly, yeah.
Beautiful books, and I think it's so cool what you guys are doing. They're like reading sculptures almost.
Yeah.
So thank you both very, very much. And in a few minutes, we'll be back with more coverage by KidLit TV of the Chappaqua 10th Annual Children's Book Festival. Bye.